Hello, Factor 50 football followers. This is something a little bit new for the podcast. I don't think we've done this before. It's an instant reaction, unfortunately, to last night's game. We haven't done these before, but I thought it'd be good to do one because it feels like quite a big moment in the season. It feels like we're a fork in the road for the Arsenal contingent anyway. So Southampton 2, Arsenal 1. Not a good performance. Lineup-wise, I was actually relatively happy with who we played. More technical quality in the team, which is what we've been lacking recently, with Ødegaard back, Havertz starting, Dowman starting is quite exciting as well, and he was brilliant. So certainly a good enough lineup to play better than that, and definitely a good enough lineup to win that game and get to the semi-final, back to Wembley, of a really big tournament. A really big cup, a really important cup. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, the game was far too transitional for us. I thought Southampton as well, to be fair to them, were really good. It wasn't long ago we were at Southampton watching them struggle against Charlton. They were much better against us. So fair play. They were very direct there with their football. Created quite a few chances. Could have scored a couple more. I think they hit the post start of the second half as well. Their goal was a combination of a bad mistake, a bad misjudgment by Ben White, and a lovely finish from Ross Stewart, who we missed when we went to watch Southampton score early in the second half because we were still having a beer. But unfortunately, I got to see him score last night, so yeah, lovely. We got back into it. The subs did make a difference, I think. Gabriel Jesus really struggled to get involved at all. Gyökeres took his goal well. That was a nice move. But I still had a bad feeling about the game. We weren't playing brilliantly. Defensively too open. I felt we weren't switched on really defensively at all. Southampton were first to a lot of challenges, a lot of second balls, getting there ahead of us. And we looked a bit just disjointed. You could tell like that lineup doesn't start very often together, but they once we got level, I felt like it was either extra time or Southampton were going to win it. And 5 minutes before the end, they get the second goal, which is another well-taken goal, a good finish in off the post, but defensively sloppy, pretty easy for the attacker. I can't remember who it was. It was their winger, wasn't it? To cut inside, lay it off to the striker, and he scored a good goal. We kind of got what we deserved, really. So can't complain, although I'm going to. So now, season-wise, obviously, the two competitions we just lost are that neither of those competitions would be a measure of our success this season, because if we won one of those but nothing else, no one's going to say, "Oh, that's it, job done." The league and the Champions League are the two big ones, but that doesn't mean those two competitions aren't important. And the bigger picture, the bigger problem is we're not playing well. We haven't been playing well for most of this calendar year. We've had a couple of good performances. I think the Everton game, we were pretty good. The Leverkusen home tie, we were pretty good. But even wins against Chelsea and wins against Brighton, we've not been very good in those games. Yes, we ground out the result, but we weren't very good. So that's the overarching worry, I think, now is, yes, we're 9 points clear in the league. Yes, we're into a quarter-final of the Champions League against an opponent we should win, but we've just played an opponent we should beat, and we didn't. And you can't take any wins for granted if you're playing the way we are. So Arteta and the players have got to respond. They've got to turn this round, pick their form back up. I'm hoping the break that some of the players have had over international weekends, and it's interesting as well, a lot of those players who've been criticised for bailing on the international teams didn't play or weren't even in the squad yesterday because they're injured. Like Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka would be in the squad at the very least. We had a few teenagers on the bench, but they can't be in the squad because they're injured. So yes, it's a big moment. I think we've got to respond. I think we'll be all right in Europe. I think we'll do okay against Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday. The Bournemouth game now next weekend, which is when we're on Farrell's Stag Do, feels huge. Dropped points there, and then if City win against Chelsea the following day, and that gap closes, it becomes much closer than we'd like. So that Bournemouth game is massive. They've got to pick themselves up and go and win that game. And I think if you've got aspirations of winning the title, you have to win that game. I feel like I've said that quite a few times this season, but that feels pretty pivotal. So, yeah, the overarching feeling this morning is very, very disappointed. I feel like we're at a really key moment in the season now, and how we respond is going to define whether we win what we want to win, or if we just have another nearly season, which we cannot allow to happen. So, fingers crossed for Tuesday. We'll speak to you all soon, guys.